Hey folks, Dave here. I'm responding to a VR request uh, by Elite Hunters to inform Saul of why collecting vintage is so cool and the right thing to do. Well, first of all, the name of my channel, Vintage Dave T, shows that I'm interested in vintage. The name has um, two meanings. One is, as you can see, I am vintage. And number two, I collected when I was a boy cards that are what are now vintage. And I've told before that my first pack of cards I ever got was in 1957 for my 8th birthday. Was a pack of cards from my parents on my birthday. And this is one of the cards out of that. I've showed another one, Dick Donovan, in the past. Turkalown. You gotta love that pose, right? I mean, that's awesome. Anyway, I got into vintage in 57, one pack, that was it. I didn't have a nickel to buy any more packs nor transportation to get me there. And then the next year, 58, I actually was a little more mobile, bicycle, friends. We'd go up to the drugstore and we would buy packs for a nickel still. And so this is one of my pack pulled ones. Either that or I traded for it with one of my friends. I can't remember. This one is a really tough shape. There's a rip at the top, corner crease. In fact, every corner is creased, every corner is dinged. A horizontal crease right below his face. Anyway, that's the first year I started collecting, and I have many cards from that set. Not a full set because it just wasn't possible to pull full sets and no eBay to buy the cards I was missing. Anyway, 57 was great. I've collected 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 was getting toward the end of it, and 64. Got into high school, and then other things took over. But what I decided a few years ago that I would get back into a little bit. And I thought, well, what can I collect? I could fill in my sets, and so I'm doing that a little bit, filling in my sets of 58 and 59s and the 60s. But I thought, well, what could I do? Well, I was thinking about maybe collecting father and son's cards or brothers' cards. And in Seattle, of course, we have the Griffies. I'm a Mariners fan, went to the first Mariners game ever. So we have the Griffies. Obviously, we had Brett Boone and his brother and his father and his grandfather. Um, we had the O'Brien brothers from Seattle University, played for the Pirates in the mid-50s. So I knew of a few. Little did I know there were literally hundreds and hundreds of father and sons that have played, and literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brothers that have played in the major leagues. So I started going after those, and in the process, I've learned much about older cards and pre-war cards and cards before my collecting days. And so it has got me into cards like this of Earl Averill. Earl Averill's actually from Washington, in a town about 10 miles from me. This is a really rough card. I believe this is this the 33 Gaudi? I think it is. Anyway, I have that one. So I got Earl Averill, and I previously had his son, Earl Averill. And this is the 59 card of Earl Averill's son, Earl Averill. And then further on, then I would just, as I'm looking for those cards, I would see other interesting cards that were very cool. To me, here is a really kind of comical Bob Feller card. Bobby Feller. This is from 1949 set, M&P Co. cartoon kind of images. I thought that was a cool card, and I had to pick that one up. And of course, we know the 52 Wheaties, and this is Stan Musial, one of my favorite players. I have cards of him from late 50s, so actually early 60s. I don't think he had cards in the late 50s. But anyway, Stan Musial. So collecting vintage has just got me into collecting so many cool cards, cards I never knew existed, cards that have wonderful images. So I think that, to me, is so much more interesting than collecting several hundred images of Julio Rodriguez or some other person, which is fine if that's what you like and you want to do several hundred images of Julio or Bobby Witt Jr. I have a few of their cards and I'm fine with that. But for me, a single card in a single year, Mickey Mantle, I just love that. And anyway, that's my deal. That's my reasons. Take care. Hope that convinced you, Saul. Bye.